So, picture this. In the skies over the Middle East, the US and its allies are facing a seriously expensive problem. Cheap but incredibly effective Iranian-made drones. But here's the twist. The solution isn't coming from some big traditional defense giant. Instead, Ukraine is stepping onto the scene, exporting its own battle-tested drone-killing tech. And believe me, it's about to completely rewrite the rules of this aerial war.
All right, let's get into it. First up, we're going to dig into why Iran's cheap drones are just so darn effective. Then, we'll meet the surprise expert who's got the perfect answer. We're going to get right inside their amazing technology, unpack the absolutely game-changing economics of it all, and finally, see how this is giving Ukraine a whole new kind of power on the world stage.
Okay, so first things first, we need to talk about Iran's drone strategy. It's a textbook case of what experts call asymmetric warfare. And honestly, it's brutally effective.
So how does a $20,000 drone take down a $4 million missile system? Well, this question gets right to the heart of Iran's playbook. See, this isn't about having better tech. It's about turning economics into a weapon. The whole idea is to make defending against their attacks so mind-bogglingly expensive that you just can't afford to keep doing it. I mean, just look at these numbers. It's wild. An Iranian Shahed drone, it costs, what, $50,000 tops? But the Patriot missile you have to fire to shoot it down? A cool $4 million. That's a cost difference of at least 80 to 1. Think about that. It means Iran can basically win a war of attrition without even getting a single drone through. They just force their enemies to go broke defending themselves.
And if you want to understand the scale of this problem, look no further. President Zelensky actually revealed that during just one 3-day operation, the U.S. burned through $3.2 billion on Patriot missiles alone. That kind of spending, well, it's just not sustainable, not even for a superpower.
So you've got the US facing this enormous financial black hole. An urgent request goes out. But, and this is the key part, it doesn't go to one of the usual suspects, a big defense contractor. Nope. It goes to a pretty unlikely ally, one that's been hardened in the exact same kind of fight. And on March 5th, it became official. President Zelensky himself confirmed it in a post. The US had asked for Ukraine's help. He basically said, "We're ready to help the partners who've helped us," which really signals a whole new chapter in their security relationships. And here's what you got to understand. Ukraine isn't just selling a piece of hardware here. They are, without a doubt, the world's leading experts on how to take down these specific drones. Why? Because for years, they've been on the receiving end of swarms of these same Iranian-made Shaheds. Through that relentless battle, they've basically perfected the art of stopping them.
Yeah, and they're not just shipping boxes of equipment. They're sending people. This number, 235, represents the Ukrainian specialists, over 200 already in the region and more on the way, who are bringing 4 years of real-world combat-proven know-how to U.S. forces and their Gulf allies. See, they're not just delivering a weapon. They're delivering the playbook on how to use it to win. All right, so let's get into the tech itself. What's this incredible piece of equipment that makes it all happen? It's a Ukrainian-developed interceptor drone, and the main model everyone's talking about is called the Sting. Okay, looking at the specs here, you can see this thing is a pure, purpose-built hunter. It's got a top speed of over 300 kilometers per hour, but its range is pretty short. That tells you it's not built for spying or surveillance. Nope, it's a high-speed interceptor designed for one job and one job only, to chase down and obliterate Shahed drones. It only carries a small explosive because, frankly, it doesn't need a big one. The sheer force of the impact does most of the damage.
And the way it works is just fascinating. It's this perfect mix of AI and human skill. First, an AI system gets a lock on the target and does the basic tracking. But then, and this is the cool part, a human pilot wearing VR goggles for a first-person view takes over to make those tiny, final adjustments. That's what guarantees a direct hit. This tag-team approach makes the system incredibly accurate and super hard for the target to shake. And listen, this isn't just theory. This is proven in the toughest environment imaginable. With a reported hit rate somewhere between 80 and 90%, these little interceptors are already responsible for 30% of all air defense kills in Ukraine as of early 2026. They've absolutely proven their worth on the battlefield, and you can bet that that number is only going to climb. So this incredible effectiveness on the battlefield brings us to the biggest impact of all. It completely flips the script on the economics, the very thing that made Iran's strategy so powerful to begin with. And this is what that economic transformation looks like. The cost to take down one Shahed drone, it just plummets. From $4 million all the way down to $2,000. All of a sudden, the defenders are spending pennies on the dollar compared to the attackers.
Iran's entire strategy of bleeding its enemies dry, it's completely turned on its head.
And we're not talking about some niche, custom-built weapon here. Ukraine has turned the production of these interceptors into an industrial-scale operation. They can crank out 800,000 of these a year, supplying up to 1,000 per day. What does that mean? It means they can give their allies as many as they could possibly need to fight off these attacks. Iran's whole plan of overwhelming defenses with sheer numbers, it's been effectively neutralized.
So, having this unique, battle-proven capability, it gives Ukraine something way more valuable than just a product to sell. It gives them real, tangible geopolitical leverage on the world stage.
When you think about it, by solving this massive, expensive problem for its allies, Ukraine is hitting several strategic home runs at once. It's creating a new stream of income to fund its own war, it's getting a powerful bargaining chip to trade for more advanced Western weapons, and it's building brand new defense partnerships with powerful nations in the Gulf.
This quote from President Zelensky really lays out their strategy perfectly. He's saying that their hard-won battlefield experience makes them an essential security partner. They're shifting from being a country that receives aid to one that provides critical, cutting-edge defense solutions. It's a huge change.
So, Ukraine's innovation has just completely shredded Iran's drone playbook and rewritten the economics of modern air defense. And it leaves us with a really fascinating question to ponder. In this new age of warfare, where cheap drones are met by even cheaper counters, and where innovation can flip the entire script overnight, who's going to win the next war of attrition? What does the future of combat even look like?